All right, so here we are, the start of the 2024 season, getting ready to fish the Elite Series, and I got this new bad boy right here, the new Nitro Z21 XL. I'm gonna go through everything I've done. I haven't done this before. This is a complete walkthrough of my boat, how I rig it, what I put in it, all the stuff I put on it, all the little accessories, things like that, how I rig it to fish the Elite Series, my 2024 Nitro, coming to you now. All right, so starting at the bow of my boat, what do I have for my trolling motor? This year I'm running a 57-inch Garmin Force trolling motor. A little bit longer shaft than what I ran last year. I'm just basing that off of the places we're going to be fishing this year. You know, we're going to be fishing places that, you know, have some rougher water. Obviously we have a couple northern events in the schedule, so this bad boy is going to be good for that. But overall, I like a longer shaft trolling motor when I get in rough water conditions. Now for the live scope configuration, I'm running 2 live scopes this year. Same setup I ran last year. One in forward mounted on the barrel of the trolling motor, one in perspective mode mounted on the shaft of the trolling motor. I ran it last year, I'm running it this year again. It seemed to work really well for me. Paired with that, I'm running 3 Garmin units at the bow. I'm running a 8616 for my forward facing unit. This is my top unit here. I'm running one below that. This is a 126 SV EchoMap unit from Garmin. And then I'm also running one 10-inch EchoMap unit on the side, solely just for 2D or mapping, or both, you know, at the same time when I'm out there, utilizing my live scopes. So for the actual mount that I'm using to run these 3 graphs at the bow, you know, that's the most important thing. Having a good mount up here. I'm using actually a custom mount from Zircona Outdoors. This mount is custom made for this boat. It has a whole, you know, hard plate that goes over it, and then a hat plate on top of this hard plate. It's a whole configuration, but it really works well on this Nitro. It's custom built for this Nitro, and these graphs ain't going anywhere this year. So now we're moving on to a little farther back in the boat. We're moving on to the storage aspect. Nitro comes with 2 huge, you know, tackle storage options for as many tackle boxes as you really want. I got all my Evolution boxes in here for this year. And then, you know, I just got all my other accessories, my hooks, leader lines, you know, pliers, dies, all that sort of thing, stacked in here. I can fit everything I need in here for the year, no problems. Huge storage compartment in the Nitro. So now for either side of the storage, that's not tackle. This side is where I keep all my rods. You know, I can put, you know, probably up to 30, 40 rods. I don't know. I stuff as many as I can in here at all times, spinning and bait casting. Can fit a lot of rods in there. You know, all my lose options are in this rod locker. And for this side, we have all my life jackets, whitewater clothing, all my cold weather gear right now. You know, we're all bundled up fishing down in Texas, and it's freezing down here, of course. I brought the cold weather home with me. Of course, we got to have the toilet paper in a dry bag. That's a must. You know, 2 or 3 life jackets, a tow rope in here. I even got an oar. All extra Garmin stuff in here in case something happens to my live scope, in case I break something off, hit a tree, do something like that. I also have an extra foot pedal in case something does happen to the trolling motor. Nothing usually ever does, but just to have backups just in case. Sunglasses in here. Like I said, stuff like that, just small accessories, and then obviously my navigation lights in here as well. At the console, I am running 2 12-inch EchoMap units. So one graph I solely just run side view and down view with. The other graph, I just run my mapping and then also 2D sonar when I'm running. So that's kind of how I do it. You know, I keep it simple, don't like to get too crazy at the dash. You know, have the side view and the down view going, you know, when I want to find some stuff. And then mostly, you know, a lot of the time I'll actually have mapping on both my graphs when I'm running around fishing shallow, doing stuff like that. So as far as the graphs go, that's what I have there. And as far as the mount that's holding these graphs on, it's the same company, Zircona Outdoors, custom mount for Nitro boat, Nitro Z21 XL. This mount's a custom mount for this boat. It will work on other boats, certain angles and things like that, but I mean, this thing is rock solid. I've had this mount on now. We came out with this mount last year for this boat, or developed it, I should say, and it's been nothing but phenomenal. I mean, these graphs aren't going anywhere. I never have to worry about, you know, things happening in rough water, and the peace of mind is really what's nice when you're fishing. So one cool feature about the Nitro is this control panel here. You know, it has all sorts of different things on it, really. This is where I control all my live wells, my pump outs, my fan, all my lights, my bilge, everything like that. But one cool feature is there's a hole shot button and a shallow water button. They're essentially preset buttons. So when you're in shallow water, instead of bringing your jack plate all the way up and bringing your trim all the way up, you just hit shallow water and it does it for you. It's honestly one of the best things about this boat, in my opinion. And the hole shot's even better, you know. When you want to get up and go and you don't have time to sit there and, you know, jack plate all the way down, trim all the way down, hit hole shot, puts it all the way down for you, and you're ready to go. Now for the back of the boat. Two huge live wells in this Nitro. Comes with a nice accessory right here. You can keep all your cold tags on. These are separated live wells. So most of the time I'm just using one, you know, unless I have a lot of fish or bigger fish that I need both sides of the live well, which hopefully this year happens a decent amount, but we'll see. So now we come over to either storage sides of the Nitro. On this side, on my side, I like to keep all my soft plastics. All my Strike King stuff is over here, my baby Z2s, all my Menace trailers. I even have this giant bag of Rage Bugs and Scound Bugs ready to go for the year, because I know that's what I use the most of, so that's what I keep in my boat. And then on this side is essentially all my tools. My camera guy's even got his goggles in here today because it was pretty cold outside. But all my tools are in here. I do keep a lot of tools. I have two, you know, drills in here, you know, two toolboxes, a lot of stuff in there. If anything were to happen on the water, I'm prepared, so that's the reason I do that. So now we come to the back of the boat. One of the most important places on the boat, you know, how I power all this crazy madness going on in here. So where do we start? We got, first of all, I have spare prop things, a couple ropes for tie-off, stuff like that. For my Dakota lithiums, I'm running 3 12-volt 135 amps exclusively for my trolling motor. I run all that power from my trolling motor. It's worked for me well the last 2 years, and this year is no difference. Now for my live scopes, I run that same battery, but only one 12-volt 135, and I run that for my 2 live scopes and 2 other graphs for my live scopes at the bow. So my 1 16-inch unit, my 1 12-inch unit, and 2 live scopes go off of 1 12-volt battery in the back, and the other 3 are for my trolling motor, and then obviously my starter as well. I use that same 12-volt 135 for my starting battery as well. So the setup back here is pretty awesome, and it's worked for me flawless for the last, going on 3 years now. I also wanted to mention that for my exclusive one battery that I'm running for my live scope units, that 135 amp, I'm charging that with a 20 amp Dakota lithium charger for that single battery. You know, so every time I come in, I charge that battery up and it's ready to go. Now all the way in the back, 2 most important tools, more important tools that go with the batteries, and well, everything's important, but 2 8-foot power pole blades. I've been running the 8-footers for, you know, the last however long it's been now, a couple of years. I like this size of, you know, power pole. I feel like, you know, it's perfect for bed fishing. It's perfect for doing a lot of things, docking the boat, things like that. Getting it into garages. So I like the 8-foot power pole blades. 250 Mercury Pro XS, 0 problems the last, as long as I've been fishing the Elite Series now. Going on year 3, 0 problems. That's the #1 reason, you know, I make it back to the ramp when I have a good bag of fish, and I trust this motor to get me back. So run it again this year, it's a great motor. One little extra accessory that I do put on my boats just to keep things clean, keep things looking nice. You know, keep away rub marks and stuff like that on the fiberglass. I do run a motor sock on my rigging hose for my outboard. You know, just something for a peace of mind. It looks good on the back of here. You know, it keeps the rigging hose from rubbing up against the fiberglass, and it just gives my boat a nice look. So that is a wrap on my 2024 Nitro. A huge thanks to, you know, everybody that supports me, all the sponsors that have supported me the last 2 years, going on 3 years now on the Elite Series. It's truly incredible where I've come from in the last, you know, 3 or 4 years due to doing this full time. It takes everybody and it takes all the support, and I definitely have it. Thanks to everyone for that. But yeah, my boat's, you know, one of the best ones I believe this year, and I'm looking forward to fishing the Elite Series, and this bad boy's going to put a lot of bass in the boat.